Welcome back to the earliest reviews. Today's review is focused on Legends of the Hidden Temple, episode 10, entitled The Egyptian Legend of Isees. And the official synopsis of episode 10 is: four teams, including an engaged couple, a business partners, a married couple, and siblings compete. And before I give up my review, please like and subscribe and comment and tell me what I should review next. Episode 10, cool episode, not much else to say. Here is my review on this episode. So the teams that are involved this time around are the Green Monkeys, the Orange Iguanas, the Purple Parrots, and the Blue Barracudas. And the Moat challenge included one of the team members had to dress as Isees, swim towards a platform looking for a banner scorpion, hang them in the correct position to identify their names, and then place 7 scorpions on their belts. And whoever made it first, whoever was the last to make it through, was eliminated. And it was a close game as each of the teams were able to make it to the second part without any difficulties. The Purple Parrots struggled the most as they made it through the finish line, hit the gongs twice, but they still couldn't advance because they didn't have the right ones or they was either incorrect. And they had like a huge argument while competing as well. But nonetheless, the Green Monkeys were the first to advance. The Orange Iguanas were the second to advance. And somehow, some way, the Purple Parrots were able to correct things and they advanced as well. And the Steps of Knowledge was up next. And the Steps of Knowledge, it was a close game as each of the teams were doing pretty well, especially the Green Monkeys and the Orange Iguanas, as it started off as like a huge two-way tie between those two. The Purple Parrots, they slowly caught back up. It turned into a three-way tie. The Green Monkeys, they advanced first, and then it became a huge two-way tie between the Purple Parrots and the Orange Iguanas. And then long story short, the Orange Iguanas advanced into the Temple Games as well. The first Temple Game was timed, and teams would have to grab a scorpion, absorb the venom that is in the scorpion. They had to catch the venom in a bucket, fill up like 6 to 7 different bottles without touching their hands, and they had to swap positions each time. The Orange Iguanas, they started off first, and honestly, it was a very slow game for them as they had a lot of difficulty climbing up the mountains as the venom would spill out and everything. And they were somehow able to make it through, but they were extremely slow while finishing. And then long story short, they finished within 7 minutes. The Green Monkeys were up next, and they went on a faster pace than the Orange Monkeys. And long story short, they were able to finish with less than 40 seconds left on the clock. Temple Game number 2 was up next, and it was a little bit similar to Temple Game number 1, as teams would have to extract venom to save a baby and everything, read over 7 different rooms to find incants, and then place them on a table in the correct positions. And then after they placed them correctly, smash a balloon, I would have to assume that was filled with venom, and whoever finished first wins the game. Just like Temple Game number 1, it was a close game once again. A very close game as each of the teams switched positions as in who was in first. Sometimes Green Monkeys was in first, Orange Iguanas, so and so. Long story short, the Green Monkeys won Temple Game number 2, and they advanced into the Temple Games. And the team members of the Green Monkeys are Frank and Maggie. The artifact location was located in the Crypt of the Heartless, and it was like a crown with a giant scorpion on top of it and everything. Frank started off the temple run on a very fast pace and everything. He enters the Royal Rage room without any difficulties, and he encounters a temple guard in the room of the Beloved. And he starts to slow down after getting caught. He makes up some time briefly until he gets captured once again in the Steamy Hollows. Maggie's run, she struggles a lot since the very beginning, as she had difficulties going through the Royal Rage Room. She loses a lot of time in the Steamy Hollows as she has to redo it twice in one run. And she makes it through the Queen's Armory. She encounters another Temple Guard, but it was too little, too late. And that is how the episode basically ends, with Maggie in the Queen's Armory. No artifact, no victory once again. And that is how episode 10 ends. I would say some of the things that I enjoyed about this episode was that I felt like most of the teams were likable. I kind of would have wanted to see the Orange Iguanas enter the temple because of their situation, what they were going through. But most of the teams were interesting. I think had the Purple Parrots entered the temple, I think they would have been arguing throughout their temple runs. If somebody was messing up, it would have been like a huge argument nonetheless. Kurt Fogg does not make an appearance again, unfortunately. Who knows when he'll be back. But yeah, episode 10 is over with. We are halfway through the first season of the revival. So thanks for watching, and until next time, goodbye.